welcome to another My Little Podcast. We are your hosts. I am Bree. I'm here with my brother Bryson.
Hello.
My father Gary.
Hello.
And my mother Shelly.
Hi.
Today we're going to be talking to you about the comments and such from the Halloween video that we did, which was using different power tools to carve pumpkins, which was a whole lot of fun to do.
Was exciting.
And then, of course, the weekly peek as well. I thought before we launch into anything, I remember mentioning last week that saran wrap just seems to disappear in our house, and it just, we never have it.
We never do. For whatever reason, we just don't have it.
I don't know. And so this week, Bryson comes into me. He's like, Bree, I think that this came. I think it's for you. And I opened it up, and we got a whole bunch of saran wrap in the mail, which is 10 out of 10. Heard you, and the note that came with it said, heard you were always running out. Enjoy your gift from KS. So thank you. That is
great.
hilarious. That was an absolute pleasure to receive, and
That's great.
I don't think we'll be running out for a while now. So you definitely, it's heavy duty too. Even it's. You know.
Not only is it useful, it provided an excellent laugh.
Oh, it was 10 out of 10.
A joyful laugh and a thankful
you.
laff.
A very thankful laugh.
Yes, thank you.
So I feel like we need to bust out some saran wrap soon here because we haven't.
That's great.
So do you have the top comments ready, Mom, for the
I
for the
do.
Halloween video?
For the Halloween? Yeah. This was so great because Derek Ekman says, not a skill saw, a sawzall, but whatever. And also called the reciprocal saw. And we actually, we knew that was a problem, but we ran out of time. We were just going to have little words, corrected. But, I thought about this later, is that maybe somebody who's not in the construction industry or even doesn't know what these what these are going to go on in life now and call that a skill saw.
So you're saying we changed the industry?
No, I'm saying
not
that
a good way?
we might have
Misled
influenced
it?
people in the wrong
but
way,
let's-
just maybe a small amount of people.
Let's
but
be
still.
more technical about this, though. It is really a reciprocal saw, the
Yeah.
type of saw. And that Sawzall is a brand name
That's true.
of another brand. Makita, I think, makes the Sawzall. But I'm not positive about that.
Okay.
So you can call me out on that one.
Okay, so you have to. I'm not really. I don't really keep up on the whole termination. for saws.
Terminization. Yeah.
So is there an actual Sawzall that's an actual saw, or is
Yes.
it a brand?
Yeah,
It
that
says
just,
what you're saying?
Sawzall right on it.
We
so.
did
Okay,
end
because I
up.
thought it was a brand. So
It's
I was trying to
either
figure out what he was referring to.
Makita or possibly
So
Milwaukee.
what does it look like?
It might be a Milwaukee.
No.
the problem with that, because I was thinking that as we were going through the editing of it, is that your joke doesn't work.
Oh, it doesn't.
That was the problem. Is that what do you go with, the correct term or the joke?
What can you do with reciprocal saw?
You just
Come on.
you got to sacrifice facts for humor.
A saw's paw, or what did we call it?
Saw's
Yeah,
paw?
a saw's paw. Yeah, and what'd you call it? A reciprocal paw? I mean, it would not have worked.
Paw with a saw.
Be real here.
Saw paw.
Paw with a saw.
Paw saw.
Paw saw.
Paw saw is saw. Oh my goodness.
We'd have to change the joke
Yeah.
to something reciprocal.
It
If we
needed
have
to
to
be
explain it, it's not a joke.
Yeah.
You know what I don't understand?
What's that?
They call it a reciprocal saw, but isn't a normal blade that spins like on like a table saw, for example, that spins around, isn't that reciprocal? Because
No.
the same end comes back around.
No, that's
over
rotational.
And over and over and over.
That's
and over.
rotational.
I think
Reciprocal's in
goes
and
back
out.
and forth.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was just because
So
it was
you could
coming
call
back
like
reciprocal.
that.
We
Other-
could call it the in and out
That
saw.
little other saw, like that one that is a handheld that goes straight down. What's that called then? Because that reciprocates too.
But manually. I think that's just
Why is my
a
brain
saw.
not thinking
Like
of
what
that
you
saw?
used on your.
What about a
bedroom
regular
No.
saw blade? Doesn't
I
that
can't.
reciprocate?
I can't think of it right now. It's a
A thing that cuts. Perfect.
no. I have one.
It's like a. It's like a.
Yes, you used it
skill,
on
it's not
your,
a skill
uh,
saw.
I've used
Skill
it many
saw is
times.
desk
the
projects.
flat one.
and
It's
stuff.
It's a band. No, not a bandsaw. That's something
Oh, chop
different.
saw?
No, it's that
that's-
little one, that you were.
My brain is just
Oh,
not.
isn't that like a saber?
It's saber
tooth
saw.
tiger? That's how I
Saber saw.
remember
Oh,
it. It's
saber saw.
saber-toothed tiger. It's the saber saw.
Yeah, saber saw.
Well, I have to say that.
And that might be a brand name too. We don't know. Like Kleenex. It's tissue paper. I don't know.
Or Kleenex or
I think
Chapstick.
brands,
refrigerator.
I think
I
whoever
don't know.
invents it first and comes out with like a brand of it, everyone just starts calling it that and it just becomes that.
Yeah.
Wasn't it Chapstick that
seems.
fought like crazy not to have that happen to them for some
Yeah,
reason?
probably. Oh, did you
Didn't
see
like
the
that.
joke on the chapstick joke? Husband gives his wife a tube, and in it is a glue stick. And she tries to. It's not working. It's not working.
That's mean.
Jokes you don't do to your wife.
Yeah. And that's
what
one
not
of
to
them.
do.
You do it to your much older uncle, but certainly not your wife.
I'm looking for my chapstick. Here you go.
I have to say on this video though that the biggest disappointment
Oh.
that we had, according to the comments, was that we did not use a chainsaw.
Okay, now
That's big. Man.
I can see the value of using it. Like you see those people like, wow, they use a chainsaw on a huge log. And you're like, wow, how do they do that? Chainsaw. But I can't help with the size pumpkins that we had. I feel like it would have just turned into soup.
I
just
thought
obliterated the
maybe-
pumpkin on the way down.
Well, the problem
But
with a
I-
chainsaw is it's not a construction tool, really.
No. Well,
Oh, you guys disagree? Oh.
if you're building a log
I have-
cabin, then it becomes a
I have
construction
Oh,
built.
good point.
I have built
So-
houses where I pulled the chainsaw out to cut out the door frames.
Oh,
So
yeah.
absolutely.
It can be, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, did we? Okay, so here's the second question.
Any
'cause now we
tool that
gotta
cuts
know.
wood probably is in construction somewhere.
Okay, so
Yes.
Let's be real here.
that's true. Then do we have a chainsaw?
We have a
Yes,
broken one.
but it's
Okay,
very
well then
big.
that solves it. We actually didn't use it because we said
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay.
That's
Good
true.
one,
It
Frank.
is
It
broken.
doesn't
I
work.
was thinking
Frank.
about that though. I was thinking maybe you could get a miniature chainsaw, something really small.
tiny one.
Well, don't you have
Like for
a
mice?
chainsaw adapter for the grinder? Of course, we proved that the grinder was not a good tool.
I do have one. Yeah.
It would have
It's
been really
interesting.
interesting to try a chainsaw, to be real.
Yeah, it would have been, might have worked. I mean, like, remember it curves around the, the end of it, so you could actually it would be. What's interesting about the chainsaw is a combination between the grinder with the round circle and the reciprocal saw that comes back and forth, the nice long blade that you get, right?
Yeah.
So you have this nice long blade and then you have a rounded end. So you could get in there and cut, your nice cuts, but you also could carve with it with the round end. It may have worked really nice.
They have.
It would have been hard to do small things with
Now,
it.
we
though.
weren't the only ones this year to use construction tools on pumpkins because we were watching a video by Evan and Caitlin, and they do
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot of resin stuff. They were doing resin pours on top of pumpkins to see if they could preserve pumpkin longer, I think was the idea.
Yeah.
And they used the reciprocal saw to cut open like what
And they
we did.
really liked it
Oh.
too.
And they used another instrument that I thought was really cool. It was like a ball at the end of a long rod, and the ball wasn't complete.
yeah.
It was like this
Half round.
where
It was
has
like
a-
an ice cream
a
scoop.
paint
Like an ice
mixer. It
cream
reminded me
scoop,
of a
but
paint
completely-
mixer that connects to a drill.
Yeah, it connects
Like
to a
that kind of
drill,
thing.
and then they went round and round on the
But
inside
it
of
was
the
for
pumpkin,
pumpkins.
and just
I like
it
that.
was super clean when
That's
it came
cool.
up. Oh, that is so cool.
That's really neat. I agree. That was really cool. Because trying to scrape out all of that stuff is like
I think that's the worst part.
that's the
It
worst
is.
part.
Well, couldn't you get an ice
You-
cream scoop and cut it off and cut the handle off and stick it on the end of your
probably could.
drill? And,
There's also
That'd
paint
work.
Like that
mixers.
one.
I
Maybe.
feel that
Yeah.
maybe could do the
Yeah,
same
paint
thing.
mixers I think would
Those
do.
paint mixers that you put on
yeah, I've
drills.
got those.
This
too.
one had it
Should
was
have
a
been
little. It didn't have so much flaps as much. It just kind of was rounded at the end. It seemed like it was more of a carve
shape.
kind of cup. Yeah, and then
Yeah.
you
It's
could
a
really get
Perfect ball,
in there. Yeah.
It was very interesting.
Next year.
Yeah, next year we'll have to try that.
Next year.
Okay, are we done with? Or we're not quite done though with Halloween, the Halloween stuff, right?
Yeah, well, I was thinking now with the weekly peak, one thing that I was concerned about on the editing of this was that we were showing pieces of decorating for Halloween, and then it came after your thing at the end, the closing statements at the end, and I was concerned that people may not wait around and see that ending thing so it wouldn't tie those things together. I'm not sure if we had comments that were confusing about that or not. But I will say this: I took the stuff down today, and these are all Bryson's little spiders, and one has. I mean, most of them are flat. One has a little, and one
Slight
One
print
kind of-
problem.
Or how'd they get like that?
I don't know, it just-
the leg warped up and hit the print head, and so it kind of just
So it's one of, but most of them are flat.
got gnarly.
And I'm not.
It doesn't look that
I'm
bad.
not sure what I would even do with these now. So I thought, if anybody wants one, you just
email us your
First come,
address.
first serve.
yeah, it's just what you want to just have them to
contact.
Bree at My Little Homestead or contact
That's
at My Little
fine.
Homestead.
It'll come from a different email because I can't
Do the
get that.
contact.
Oh yeah, yours doesn't
Do the
work.
con-
Kinda
do the
goofy,
contact
but if you do
one.
contact at My Little Homestead,
Yeah, and if
your
you
email.
want one, I'm hoping they'll mail. Okay, the legs are a little bit, they're strong, but I'm not so sure. We'll try to.
we'll try to
Yeah,
wrap them up
so they
for
don't
you,
break.
Mama.
I think
But
we
if
could-
you're interested in that, just a flat little plastic, and it's sort of painted. There's some blue pointing out, but anyway, if you're interested,
Yeah, 'cause it was originally
I'm not
printed
sure
in,
what I would do with these
blue.
now.
Yeah,
Oh,
we'll
this
do
is
something different next year.
Bree's favorite thing.
They always like to tease me about it. Mom was like, I don't mind spiders until they get to a certain size, and then what happens is when you squish them, when you squish them, they do it's a huge substance. You know what I'm saying? And then it's like it's not graded anymore. They just
We
do
were
a certain
trying to
size, and you're like, no.
I was trying to get Bree to do a spider design of some sort.
In my defense, if you would have come up with one, I would have done.
You would have done?
But
Okay, 'cause she does not like spiders.
Not a huge fan. I've drawn a lot of spiders in my day though as a cartoonist.
Oh,
I've
okay.
done a lot of them, so I feel like I've conquered
Conquered some of
fear.
your fear.
Some of your fears?
But it doesn't mean that I like them.
Apparently, you're wearing a new one. It's-
I feel like I'm rocking it.
You look
It's
It's
really
falling
nice.
out though. Oh yeah. Sorry.
Sorry.
Here, you can have that back. I
Oh,
think you
thanks.
dropped that.
Yeah, I tapped it.
All right. Should we move on now to
Yeah.
the weekly peek here?
Yeah.
Do some comments. Okay, so I think probably. Well, we'll read this. This is actually the top comment when I was scrolling through them here. By Returning Shadow, he said, "So Ellie is doing room demo while holding a baby. I think she is ready for American Ninja Warrior tryouts."
That's so true.
Ellie is absolutely
Oh, gosh.
amazing.
She is
I'm sure
amazing.
that comes through, and you can see she's just.
An interesting fact about her is that she was considered for downhill for the USA. Was she tryouts?
Yeah, she went to the Olympic
competed and tried out
tryouts
for the Olympic
on-
tryouts for downhill.
A women's downhill
Snowboarding.
snowboarding. Or
Yeah.
something. I don't know
Yeah.
the exact term. It's probably.
And she did win a snow shovel, first place snow shovel race, which
Yeah,
we saw
she
that.
did.
That was
Yeah.
Yeah. So she's
quite
awesome
the athlete.
on all
Yes.
aspects for
Yes.
sure. Okay, so I think we all concur with this comment here from Diana Diamond. Azalea stole the show this week. She was the center of attention for the
Yep.
whole show. Much love to you
Yep.
all.
Yes. We're all
I'd agree.
vying for attention, and now the baby's here, so it's just more competition.
No, I'm so excited.
The baby needs a channel all to herself.
Oh, there we go. The Azalea channel.
The spin-off.
Homes-
Azalea.
Or just
Homestead
every
with Azalea.
every Monday or something, the Azalea video comes out. And it's just
It's
of
just
Azalea.
Azalea.
Yeah.
What's interesting
Cooing.
about Azalea too is that you start to see at this age, even you can see her personality come out, and you can see from the way she behaves that she likes to make people laugh.
She does.
She's more. If you try to make her laugh, she's just stone face a lot of times. But if
a
she can make
goofball.
you laugh, that
That's
just
that's it, baby.
Yeah.
She looks at you like, huh?
yeah.
And sometimes she makes you laugh, or you laugh at something else, and she's like, "Ha ha." I did that.
Courtesy chuckles.
Yeah, she's got the courtesy chuckle already down.
She's
Oh,
hilarious.
she's gonna be a riot. I would
It's going to be great.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so Talisha Garris had a great suggestion for Garen and Ellie on their remodel. Garen and Ellie should flip the toilet now so that the wall is gone. So that the wall is gone, it will suit the bathroom better. And I agree. So can you do that? I don't know if it's
Yes.
the hole.
Yeah. Garen won't like it, but it can be done.
It can be
You have to
done.
move
yeah.
the hole.
Oh, is there
Wouldn't you
the-
have to
You can move.
the
You'd
hole?
have to move the plumbing for both the whole plumbing and the
Well,
water.
I mean,
Did you
supply.
take a picture of that and send that to
Talisha,
Garen to make
I
sure
will
that
have
he
to send
sees
it
it?
there.
Yeah.
Just
Send
Get
it
him
to
pretty
him.
soon because he's getting
It
down
would.
to doing stuff right now. It's gonna be a good time.
I mean, if he does the floor, he's not going to be doing that. That's gonna-
Well, if he does the
Once he
floor,
does
this
the
is the
floor.
best time to do it.
I know,
Yeah.
but if he already puts the tile on the floor,
Yes.
whatever he's planning to do, he won't be doing that.
No,
He'll have to
no,
tear
no.
it
I
down.
think
Right,
he's.
so I'll have to get that to
I
him.
think he's closer
We'll have to
just
get it to
working
him
with
earlier.
walls right now. So
Okay.
Yeah,
shower.
probably getting those rocking. Oh, the shower. I think
Shower
yeah,
walls.
isn't he doing the shower?
I think you've decided
You
to
know,
change the floor too
I
in the
have
master
in
bathroom.
our
Put some-
master bedroom bathroom thingies.
Change the floor.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
tile.
You know, you put it in, and it's 15 years later, you go, oh, gosh, this floor looks really good. I'm going to keep... Nah, it doesn't go. Color-wise, it doesn't really match.
Yeah,
what we're
you know,
trying to
when
do.
you did that, though, it was super cool because you
was
had
really
like
neat.
Three different tiles.
3 different tiles, and he found
Different
a way
sizes.
to design it so that we could utilize all the tile on that floor.
Yeah,
So
well, that's all I
That
had,
was
too, at
really
the time.
cool.
Remember those days?
We'll
Yeah.
have to put a little B-roll of the tile there so you can see what we mean. I remember when you guys did that, I was like, oh, that was so cool. And
Yeah.
you could sit and stare at that floor forever because there was
Really?
always something new to see.
Yeah.
As a kid, now I maybe wouldn't be probably
You
so
need counseling.
enamored.
I don't know. It's just,
But I thought that was
let's
the
stare
cool
at the
thing.
floor. Ooh.
It was
very
really,
cool.
it was
It
a
hasn't
unique
moved.
design. You figured something really cool out. I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah, to be able to
And that
utilize
was the
those
time when we
big
had
tiles.
the giant tile cutter. It was a big
Oh,
old saw
man.
with water that came up,
man.
and it was
So
so noisy. It was
Well, only because the bearings were going out, and I could
noisy.
do nothing about
And you would
that.
cut it, and you would cut the piece, and you would cut the piece, and we had to be really careful because it would break tile. We had to be very careful with the saw.
Yeah.
Now, easiest way to cut tile is literally with the hand grinder
The hand
and
grinder's the
a tile
easiest.
bit.
Yep.
And just zip, 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 dry.
Fast.
You don't even need water. You just
Yeah.
do it.
And it's not as loud either.
Not
too,
as loud either. Yeah.
as I saw
It's not
was.
obnoxious.
The bearings were going out for 10 years. I could do nothing about
so
those
really
bearings.
the
I
bearings
tried.
possibly. We
Yeah.
went on the design, but okay. So on the skid steer now, you had a couple fixes for it in this week as well, which it halted some progress on the bathroom, although we were able to get a little bit done. But it was we did have progress though in learning about the skid steer. I think
Yeah, we learned a lot.
we decided that Bryson, when all is said and done, you're gonna know that thing like the back of your hand. You're gonna be able to
I hope
fix
so.
anything on it when
I
all
hope
is
so.
said and done. 'cause-
We have a truck, a Dodge truck that we know inside and out. I mean, yes, Garen or me, and we'll tell you anything on it because we've had them for a long time. And when you own a car for so long, you just learn the ins and outs on it.
Well, you also switched engines.
Garen,
you
yeah,
rebuilt
so
engines.
Garen rebuilt the engines.
Yeah,
He's
you've changed
even-
every part on that over the
And
years.
his own.
Gosh, Garen would know everything on that thing.
You
He
can
was
see
asking.
why, you have these older
He's worked on
guys who
that for
have
so
a
long.
car or a Bronco, or I knew someone who had a Bronco, and they just had it just forever because I think
They just knew the ins and outs.
and I realized that later in life that he probably knew how to fix everything. So why not just keep that car and keep it running
his
and
parts
keep
And
it
are
then
going?
too, the longer you own them too, the little tricks you pick up on them. If you do this part lasts 10 times longer. If you just do this small thing, little things like that, and really, you can-
Yeah, I
nice.
joked and I'm only half joking because I feel like he's gonna hear it. It's not gonna be working, and he'll hear it and be like, he'll know exactly what it is. How
Yeah.
you get that where you're like,
Yeah.
it's somewhere like I know.
But on the skid steer, didn't you receive something really cool recently?
we don't have that with us. I'll post the picture that we posted in
Well,
case you missed
it's
it
on
on our social
Facebook.
media.
It's on the My Little
Mom,
Homestead Facebook
so-
page.
Is it on Patreon
Something-
too,
It's
and
on all
Twitter,
of them,
and
yeah.
all of the
Something that-
social media?
if you're learning something new, it's very nice to have a guidebook that you can go through and look at everything. There's always like the Henry books or Kilton's books that you can get for cars and stuff, and those are really helpful. So Mom was able to find the entire book on everything on that tractor.
Yeah,
basically.
it's the parts
Maintenance,
manual,
Parts manual,
the
the
maintenance,
service manual, and the
service,
operating
Service,
manual.
operating.
Yeah.
and the operatings, everything, which is really cool. But it's a very big book.
Do you have it
It's a
memorized
big
yet?
boy.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
You just got
I
it.
went
Yeah.
through a few of the pages this morning, not reading it, just looking
Well,
at the
I don't know.
pictures.
I don't know. I don't know what was happening because I was like making breakfast and I look over at Bryson. He cracked open the biggest book I've ever seen in my life, and I'm like, oh my gosh, nothing. And then I think Adley was joking about it being a little light reading over breakfast. I was like, oh, we gotta post this. This is hilarious.
I gotta say, when I was unwrapping that,
Yeah.
I was kind of laughing a little bit inside because big wrap on the outside, okay? And it's not just saran, it's like a tight saran wrap around it.
Yeah.
There's also clear tape around it.
Whoa.
So I cut the
Wait,
clear
before
tape.
you got to
Okay.
it, I unwrapped the paper.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah.
the box that it was in.
Oh
it was
my
wrapped
God.
like 4 times.
Really? Yes. Okay. So yeah, I wasn't a part of that. Apparently there was more. My gosh. Pull that out. You unwrap the paper, and then that inside it was wrapped up.
Again?
And so yeah, and then I had to unwrap it again. Then I pulled it out, and now there's a book inside of another book wrapped up. Okay, so then I undid that wrap. There was another one. So
my
I undid the
gosh.
other wrap, and then I finally got into it, and I was able to put the whole thing together. And like,
It
They
was gold,
seriously
basically.
did not want
It's kind
There
of like
was
those
layers
boxes
and
that you
layers.
open and they keep
Open
shrinking
them.
down
Yeah.
until you get like a ring. Will you marry me?
I had a whole
You made me do all that
pile
work?
of wrapping.
What the heck, man?
Hilarious. It was hilarious. It was so much wrapping on that thing. I was like, oh my goodness. And by the time I got in there, I was like, someone seemed to just take the book, and it seems like it's just a bunch of papers. I mean, if you wanted to, I mean,
That's
like,
what the books are.
I
just a
know,
bunch of
but
papers.
there was just a bunch of papers. I see what I said there, but
Sorry.
it was like
Sorry.
regular printing paper though,
Yeah.
with holes punched in it and just inside of a booklet.
That's
I thought,
awesome.
man, you really could just. I wonder if someone just took the original PDF offline somewhere and just printed it all out.
I don't know. I
That
bet you
would have
that's
been
the way it was
dedication,
originally
baby.
done.
Yeah,
I mean, off one of those,
that's a
those
lot of
commercial
pages.
printers. I mean, you just set
Yeah,
it
but
up.
that's a commercial book that you received. I don't think that's just somebody
Yeah.
sitting down at his printer going.
It uses an entire cartridge on one book because it's so thick.
I know, but it's just interesting that even though it definitely has that commercial feel. There's the
Yeah.
one that's like sealed up, but really, there's not much to it. Like
Yeah.
you really could,
Well, you did
They
show me
make one
the
of those.
blow up of the head.
yeah.
So
this
simple.
is the simplest engine I've seen.
Yeah.
For most engines, they're very.
Oh, sorry, we got
complicated.
started here.
They've got
wanna
lots
get
of
the
moving
color.
parts. This thing has 4 cylinders.
Four.
Three.
It has
Three.
4
Sorry.
cylinders.
Four
All
cylinders.
4
No, it's got 3
cylinders.
cylinders.
He told me the other
And
day.
one battery.
And one battery. No,
That's all the parts I know. on it.
it's really simple. So
Carburetor?
actually,
Oh, yeah, one of those two.
Carburetor.
the
Carburetor.
thing that looks even more
Spark plugs.
complicated to me,
Chain
and maybe
part
it's
or
just
something?
because I don't understand it, is the other half of it, the hydraulic part. That looks the most complicated to me.
Well, that'll be fun
But
to learn.
I don't know anything about them,
Okay,
so it'd
so,
be really fun to dig into those.
Now, Willie,
you.
Sorry for that
1960,
tangent.
said to make the skid steer easier to start, use a lighter oil in the crankcase. If it had
interesting.
10W30, use 5W30 during the winter. Remember to change it back before the summer to the 10W30.
Maybe it has
Interesting.
a thicker oil in there. That's why it was so
Might have a thicker oil.
slow on the crank.
Recently,
I thought
while I
that- I
was
don't
looking
know
at all the
A
pictures,
thing, but
I ran across the page showing where the oil drain plug was,
Cool.
which I did not think existed because the guy we bought this from, he had to get a siphon to siphon out the oil. And I was like, well, that's a little weird. You'd think someone would put something,
Put a drain
engineer a
plug
drain
in.
plug in. Well, there is one. It's just that's under, and you have to there's a
Get
weird
to
little
it and
thing you have
stuff.
to do to get to it. So, yeah.
Well, that's good. I'm glad you found that. Okay, so I think our final comment here, I thought is from Colleen Bollinger. Said, "Hi Brie, I have hair about as long as yours, but not as thick, and I'm thinking of cutting it back like yours, where it's shaved a couple of inches at the bottom. I'd like your comments on the cut. Are there drawbacks, and how often do you trim it?" Okay, so. And I think I've explained this before in previous podcasts, so I'll go over really quickly. I only did that little shave thing because I have such thick hair, and I wanted to grow it out, but it was just obnoxious. So that little shade thing or whatever in the back, I would trim it once a week. But eventually, just as nature goes, it just slowly climbs higher upon the scalp. And so I'm now at the point I'm learning how to work with
she's
my hair.
also letting, untrained trimmers trim her
No.
hair.
You guys
Like
did
Dad and
We
Bryson
don't mean
and
to, but
Mom
we see the
and-
line there, and we're like, okay, there's a
That's
little
close.
hairs next to it. We want to get those, so we try to get those.
Yeah.
And boop, we nip the long ones, and they're the long ones. They go all the way down, and suddenly that line that was right here is going up slowly, and it's no longer straight. It's kind of starting to turn. We don't mean to. We're trying. We try, but we're not
you guys
experts
did
in that
great.
aspect.
You guys
so.
did great. And now that I'm learning how to work with my hair, though, Adelaide's helping me out and found some information on it. I'm growing it back out now. So
So let's see
done
it.
with the
Let's see. Are
we
you
done?
growing the shaved area?
I am.
Let me see.
I don't know how to show everybody without
Whoa.
turning completely
Oh yeah. Okay.
she's doing it.
Oh yeah.
Quick, get the razor.
quick. It's long, but
Very cool.
when
I thought that was actually rather brilliant because if you think about
If you have
it,
thick hair.
if you have thick hair, because I had long hair for a long long time too. Not ridiculously long like that, but I had longer hair.
Ridiculously
And-
long if you had just longer nails.
And all that hair back there underneath everything, you don't see it. It just adds to thickness. And when you live in hot weather like we do, it's really hot back there. So, like, I could see how trimming that would be very nice for hair.
Yeah, so I think that with my thick hair, I loved it. It allowed me to enjoy long hair. But yeah, there you go. It's being grown back, and yeah. Oh, I had to trim it about once a week because I liked it really trimmed up because when it starts getting long.
She would be like, Bryson, can you trim this? And I'm like, I'm cutting millimeters off the top of this hair right now.
It was pretty small.
She liked to trim.
You want it trimmed, and you notice it coming back, and I feel like when it's left, it's just a little unfortunate looking until you can get it back trimmed up nice, I think, personally.
All right.
So, at least on my head. So, anyway, there you go.
Yeah, I wanted to go back to our Wednesday shows too. We thought what we would do, Bree come up with this idea of just doing a little bit more fun, and we like doing silly things. We like doing, they're more fun to edit. They're more fun to film and all of that. So we'll probably be doing some more of the little ones like that on Wednesdays when we don't have, occasionally we'll have more serious things too, of course. But anyway, we thought, and also we have
So silly.
we've got a holiday season coming up. We've got Thanksgiving and we've got Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
So if you have some ideas that you'd like to see, that would be fun, and shoot those ideas our way.
Even if they're
because
weird and wacky and crazy.
we like weird and wacky and crazy. Yeah.
I had an insane idea. I mean, it's bound to go viral. Are you ready for it?
Yes.
Yeah. Ready?
Yes.
A Christmas tree launcher. And the way it works is it's a big bow, okay? And me and Garen, we build it, okay? A big bow with a big string that pulls back, okay? And the Christmas tree goes in there, and it's wrapped up in a spun, or it's wrapped up in like bungee cords or whatever. And there's a blade at the top. So when the Christmas tree gets launched, it cuts the bungee cords as it goes out, releasing the branches as it flies through the air like a torpedo. And it's a Christmas tree launcher.
Will it go and plant itself, and then do you shoot all the other decorations onto it with other types
I have no
of
idea.
devices?
But just launching the Christmas tree would be a lot of fun.
Just launching it.
I mean, have you ever seen a Christmas tree flying through the air? Me neither. I think it's a great idea.
You'd have to get the drone up so we could get a good shot of it.
Yeah.
The only thing I
Unless it
see
just
is
goes-
that the only
It would probably do this. Just crash off somewhere.
Got it.
That one year we had a Christmas tree. I don't know. We did some sort of a skit, and we had the like a special effect that was pretending like the tree had blown up. I can't remember all the specifics.
Yeah.
Oh, Christmas
But I
tree.
remember
That's what
my
you
mom
wrote,
saying
wasn't
to me, she really thought that we had
We'd blown it
that
up.
she didn't realize it was a special effect. And I thought, well, I guess that worked good then, because it was definitely, we did not blow the Christmas tree up.
That was a fun little video we did.
I was a
Yeah, I
fun
really
one.
don't remember it too much.
We do
other
I don't
than that.
remember
things like
either.
that
It was out in the
sometimes.
desert somewhere.
I remember giving
Yeah.
a very dry line and thinking afterwards, man, I could have done better with that line. That's the only thing I remember about that one.
I really want to do a Bing Crosby type Christmas special. You guys, if you want to put together, Christmas music and stories.
With probably a $40 million budget, we could really pull together
Yeah.
a great movie.
You know, it'd be great.
Huh?
We make a micro movie scene, and we film it in it. So we put together a tiny little Christmas tree, tiny little people.
Oh, so you
and
think
we
it's
make
big.
You think it's big, and then it zooms out, and it's really small.
Oh, can
It's
you
just really
print with
small.
your 3D printer fake enough that it would look totally real? And you could do a little tiny launcher and it just barely goes, but then you're like, oh my gosh,
perfect.
that went 2 miles. And it's like, bink.
You could
I
do.
love that.
You could do
And then the
drone
whole
footage.
time, you think we're
drone footage
building
of it
this.
flying
And
and the
he's
drone's
really,
moving.
he's really just shooting broccoli,
You know what would be absolutely hilarious? You act like you're building this massive bow with this massive Christmas tree, everything. You should even show shots of us like building it and stuff. And then it zooms out and it's this tiny little crossbow shooting this tiny little tree.
pew, pew, pew. We only had time for this, but if you have a big imagination, you can imagine this like 100 times bigger.
That'd be great.
Yeah, if you have any of those ideas, we'd love to hear from you. And thank you so much for hanging out with us, being a part of the conversation and a part of all the ideas and all that kind of good stuff. And again, thank you for the saran wrap because
yeah,
that's
Oh, yeah.
awesome.
That's awesome.
And then also as a reminder,
spider.
a spider.
Spider.
Email us. It's
spider.
contact@mylittlehomestead.com is the email that you can send it to.
First come, first serve.
Yeah, and
Yep.
then assuming that many people want them, but
Probably
they'll
will
be
go.
here.
Yeah.
I don't want your spider, but
I want
that's
the one
cute
that
for
was
asking.
in Bree's hair, please.
Are we going to put the link in the description for who designed those on Thingiverse?
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
I didn't design them. I just
Yeah.
printed them. I found a model
Yeah.
on Thingiverse. Anyway, and hit link in description
It
if
was,
you want to download that.
You
Captain
print your
or
own.
something.
Yeah, Captain or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, Captain Tin, Captain. Yeah, so we'll
But-
put a link to that too. Yeah.
Yeah,
Because it's so kind of people and creators to design these parts and put them on Thingiverse for people. It's really nice of them and awesome, really, because
Fun.
it's a big community and it's very cool.
Yeah, for sure. All right, well, thank you so much for being a part of our family, and we will catch you on Wednesday for another midweek peek. Bye.
Bye.